So we know, say, it's a thing where it's a big problem in Jamaica, yet still we say the most powerful nation in the world. As a matter of fact, we are told that Colorado get more vote for Ganja than for Obama. Is true that, sir?
Yes, that's true.
When they put it on the thing, him get more Ganja get more vote than the president.
That's true. More popular than the president. And the president won't talk about it.
I don't hear mention nothing about it up to now. Well, I don't hear mention nothing about it.
They don't like to talk too much about it.
All right, so today I hear them look for a czar in a Washington state. A Ganja czar. I don't know. Why you not put up yourself? Them say you have too much people who is qualified that them don't even know who to choose. So how come you're not part of that election of Ganja czars?
Well, I've been kind of busy representing two groups. One called Patients Out of Time, and the other one called Cannabis Patients Union, CPU. And I'm a director, and I'm the legal counsel of Patients Out of Time. We are the leading source of evidence-based science regarding medical cannabis and the endocannabinoid system. Our job is to educate healthcare professionals, and we've been putting on seminars since the year 2000.
Yeah.
And we have collected the leading researchers in the world and brought them to our seminars and had them discuss their papers or their studies or why cannabis is helpful to humans. So our organizations I'm quite proud of, and they've done a wonderful job. Al Byrne and Marilyn Mathry with Patients Out of Time and the 4 remaining federal patients. The federal patients there are 4 people alive yet in America who get 300 cannabis cigarettes every 28 days from the federal government. They grow them in a farm in Mississippi. They roll them and put them in tins and mail them to them every 28 days. And the 4 remaining people continue to get that for life.
This is the federal government?
The United States federal government.
Mailing Ganja to these patients?
4 of them, yes.
Yeah.
And they are all on our board at Patients Out of Time.
Okay.
They have smoked 125,000 grown, rolled, mailed to them marijuana cigarettes, and those cigarettes have caused them no damage from smoking. We've had them all 4 tested, and it ameliorates their desperate conditions that they have.
So what is the conditions that they are afflicted with?
Well, there's one called Nels-Patel syndrome, which a man by the name
Come
of...
again?
I can't pronounce it that well, but it causes very strange growths in the body.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange system or syndrome that George McMahon has, and it helps him a lot. Another man has cancer, and it's a form of cancer that grows bone spurs that he used to have surgeries, and now it keeps the spurs from growing, and he operates as a stockbroker. His name is Irv Rosenfeld, and he's quite a great man. We also have another woman who has glaucoma, and Elvie Masika, and she also gets the cigarettes from the government, and it keeps her glaucoma in check. And one more woman by the name of Barbara Douglas, who has multiple sclerosis. And for her 25 years, the others who were diagnosed who had multiple sclerosis like her, they're all gone.
Oh, yeah?
But Barbara is pretty healthy yet and full of smiles.
So how long now, this group that you represent is on the Ganja from the federal government?
Well, these people have been involved with the Ganja from the federal government for about 25 years.
Really? 25 years now since the government sends them Ganja spliff to these people?
Yes.
25 years?
25, yes. They smoke about 12 to 13 a day.
Really? Because, so, all right, so the federal government was feeding these people with marijuana because of them ailment.
Yes.
Yet still round the corner, it is a criminal offense to find yourself with ganja.
Well, this was part of a deal that was made with a man by the name of Bob Randall, who won a suit against the government, who were denying him being able to use his medicine, cannabis. And the program was shut down because there were too many people making application for it. But those who are on the program continue to receive cannabis and are doing quite well.
All right. So now that, well, I don't know about Mississippi because I know it's Washington and Colorado, but there is a thing about medical. If you have these little cards, you can acquire ganja for medical purposes. Is the government still sending them ganja? Or them now can use their card to get it?
No, they get their ganja from the federal government. They don't get it from the dispensaries. The other people can get it from the dispensaries in there are 18 states where it's legal. There are not dispensaries in all of the states.
Mm-hmm.
But in the states that there are, and leading ones are Colorado and California, people are able to get a wide range of cannabis for their various ailments.
Mm-hmm.
What people really have not had the opportunity to know until just, it was 1 year after the Coral Gardens incident in 1964 that a man by the name of Raphael Meshulam from Israel discovered THC. He was able to isolate it. And THC is the ingredient in cannabis that causes people to get conscious.
Yeah, that is the problem, the difference between the male and the female.
Well, no.
Or between hemp and the ganja itself.
Well, hemp is kind of a category that is relegated to cannabis that has low THC.
Okay,
and
it's not psychoactive.
It's low.
Yeah, so it have it, but it's low.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. And this is the problem with ganja, according to the federal government in America, the THC inside of it.
Well, no, the problem with ganja with the federal government that was your first question, is why is it illegal?
Mm.
And there are a lot of obvious reasons that have been coming out, but primarily it's because of its competition with industry.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with whether or not it's good or bad for somebody.
All right. So you're saying that you're saying that 1 year after the Coral Garden incident, this Israeli made some discovery.
He discovered THC, and in 1987 came the big discovery, and that was the discovery of the endocannabinoid system. And the endocannabinoid system is what turns everything on its ear when you understand how it works and what it's about. The endocannabinoid system is a regulator that regulates human condition. Humans and the plant share some of the same chemistry. The human body makes some of the same chemicals that are in cannabis or ganja. The fact is that the chemicals that we share with the ganja plant are chemicals that our own bodies keep us healthy and happy. These chemicals in cannabis are called cannabinoids, and they're derived from the official name of the plant, Cannabis sativa. The chemicals in the human body that we make are called endocannabinoids. Endo means from within, and so the cannabinoids are produced within the human body. These cannabinoids help us sleep, eat, digest our food, fight infection, reduce fever and inflammation, and they protect the nerves of the body and the nervous system in the brain. They fight cancer, skin disease, and help babies grow inside the mother. And they make sex more enjoyable. Basically, the endocannabinoid system does everything necessary to make our lives worth living. A healthy body and a healthy world produces enough natural endocannabinoids to necessitate a happy life. But the world we live in is not healthy. It's stressful, it's polluted, and our human bodies often can no longer produce enough endocannabinoids to lead a balanced life. And that's where the ganja plant comes in. The cannabinoids in the ganja give humans the chemicals that we are lacking. It's like a supplement. That way, in the United States and a number of other countries, ganja is being used as medicine. And of course, it's been used as medicine in Jamaica for a long time. The fact that Jamaica has been a world leader in developing medicine from cannabis. In 2000, two Jamaican researchers, Dr. Manley West and Dr. Albert Lockhart, developed medicine from ganja called Cannasol.
Yes.
And Cannasol is a treatment for glaucoma, where the pressure inside the eyeball becomes too great and causes blindness. It's estimated that 100,000 Jamaicans suffer from this disease. Cannasol prevents blindness by reducing excess pressure in the eyeball, simply put, by putting eye drops within the cannabinoids on the eyeball.
All right, stick up in there, because I know of people who have glaucoma, and they say when they smoke it suppresses that glaucoma in them eye. I mean, I don't know, but I know. I mean, I have family relations who use it, smoke it, and you know, when you hear Peter Tosh sing about it,
right,
it's one thing. But when you hear people say, yeah, when them smoke it, it will leave the glaucoma thing, and then now you hear the university scientists them declaring that there is something there that helps glaucoma. You kind of try to figure out who a fool, who you know, is who a trick, who in relationship to this thing, you know.
Well, the fact of the matter is that not only does it help with the glaucoma, it almost helps with everything within the body. It helps with balance. It is the endocannabinoid system helps balance the mind, the body, and the spirit. You see people who are manic depressive, high and low, and when they use cannabis, their lows come up and their highs come down, and they start to go to balance, and they can live a respectable life again. I've seen miracles happen over my 40 years of working with cannabis. I've seen people that had the shakes so bad you can't get a word out, but they get some cannabis in them, and all of a sudden they can have a conversation like a regular person, and they enjoy it. So when you really get an idea about how the endocannabinoid system works, and that's it supplements the chemicals in the body that are part of the body's communication system. They act as a relay system, either closing or opening a connection. This way, by turning signals on and off, they moderate the behavior of certain cells in the body. Their action is primarily to keep the body in balance. Cannabinoids, whether the body makes them or they come from the plant, will, for example, allow a person to react to acute pain, just as jerking of your hand away would be from the fire if it burns you. At the same time, it will diminish chronic pain, like arthritis. And
like HIV, because they give HIV patients it too.
Well, it's part of balance. When you're out of balance, you need herb.
Yeah. All right. Stick up in here, so. Make up throw something to you, so. Because you have moringa. And advocates of moringa. You know moringa, right?
I know about it, yes.
You know about it, all right. But you don't study it on the level.
I don't study it, no.
Yeah, all right. You're strictly a ganja man. But you have some people who study the moringa. And basically the same things what you say in terms of the human body and the moringa is the same reasoning them give in relationship to the moringa. And one wonder if over a period of time people don't discover herbs and relate it to some unique situation when there's a lot of herbs out there that can be related to this situation that you speak of. Like the attributes that you give to the ganja is a similar attitude that you can give to maybe thousands of species of herbs out there that we have discovered and still to be discovered out there. Or you see that?
Well, I think we're not really discovering these things. I think we're rediscovering these things. These are things that humans knew a long, long time ago and have been repressed or moved out of their minds for some reason or another.
So, would you say that ganja is just one of those herbs that has been suppressed, or it is the herb that has been suppressed? I mean, it is the herb that has been suppressed, we know that, but is it that ganja, because of the suppression of it, is now the king of all herbs, and not moringa that is not suppressed, or that them have a fruit where them call it again, this fruit everybody that drink the other day from Tahiti. I mean, there is so much herbs out there that people attribute to what you just say. One wonder if it's because ganja illegal, why it take first place.
Well, the reason it's illegal is because it is in first place. It's obvious that there are so many reasons for industry to not like cannabis. Cannabis is really pretty bad for capitalism. It's not so good for religion.
All right, explain why. Explain the two things. Like it's bad for capitalism.
Well, if you have somebody that's healthy,
yes,
and reasonably happy and not full of fear,
the pharmaceutical company get a lick.
Well, everybody gets a lick because they don't need anything. You know, they have what they need.
Yes.
But if you're full of fear and you're sick or you're crazy, I mean, really, cocaine is very good for the economy. I mean, people go crazy and they kill people and they ruin their children and they get psychologists work and all of that stuff. But it's not that those kind of drugs are good for the economy. Cannabis is horrible because people are happy with what they have and they can make things out of what they have and they can fix things and they can use their minds. But in America, people just buy and throw away. They don't know how to fix things and how to make things work.
Yes.
But there's a long history here in Jamaica. I read many years ago, back in the 70s, Ganja in Jamaica, which was a study of the working class people, done with Melanie Dreyer and Comatus and people from Columbia University. And there was also another study here about prenatal use of cannabis, about how they followed the women who gave their children cannabis and used it, and the children of the people who they tracked who used cannabis were healthier than the people who didn't. And that's not unexpected when you understand how important the endocannabinoid system is insofar as regulating all these conditions in your body. There are cannabinoid receptors in the brain by the millions, in your bones, in all of your organs. This balancing act that seems to be what the whole world is about, and what the whole universe is about the manufacture and degradation of the chemicals that there are. Yes.
All right. So when you say like these things, is it the same result you're getting when you eat it, when you drink it, when you smoke it, when you put in a tablet? What we're talking about here? We're talking about ganja by any means, any way, or we're talking about specific ways for specific ailments?
It's specific ways for specific ailments.
Okay.
I mean, the real, one of the real shames that we have is not just the unnecessary human suffering that goes on because people don't know how to use cannabis correctly or even know how to use it, or most people are just afraid of it because it's been given such a bad name.
Yes.
There's a lot of advertisement about it being bad.
All right. I want to spend some time on the different ways that it is used, different ways it can be used, and also is really burning it the best way?
Well, it's a good way to get it to your brain. It goes in through the lungs and into your blood system quickly. And for certain ailments, smoking, it's a very good thing.
So what happened to the residue that come from it just being smoked?
Well, there's been a number of studies that show that the smoking doesn't cause cancer.
No, not
or any
only.
kinds of
Cancer is a problem, you know. So you see, people start to believe that cancer is the only sickness here right now. From saying it don't cause cancer, it means it's all right. We soon come back to that. This is the cutting edge on Iriefm. I guess we want to ask, what is the... All right. You know, one time I drive with Peter Tosh, right? Mm-hmm. I drive with Peter Tosh and he must say, you know, say, I'm going to stop smoke. He might go stop. No, he never say smoke. He say I'm going to stop burn ganja. And I'm going to start steam it. Because he must see now, after going through all of the process, he might realize, I better him steam it than burn it. Right? This is me, I drive, go by, I drive, go down at the place where I'm going to buy fish down at Greenwich Farm. And I come back up, I had up a barbican there. And he must show me, say, well, you know, I better it steam than burn. All right. In your vibes and scientific thing, what is the best way you would have prescribed for use ganja for the different ailments?
Well, Peter was right about very, very many things. He was well tuned in. When I listened to Jelani Naya at the International Reggae Convention here last month, talk about Tosh on Ganja, a follower of his teachings, and I think that Peter had a lot of really good ideas. Steaming it is one good idea. The vaporization is what they call it, and they give it to patients who have trouble being able to want to still get it in through their system, through their lungs, but without the harshness that comes from some of the other oils and things that are in there. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you smoke a lot, you can get clogged up a little bit. But if you vaporize it, you lose some of those kinds of problems.
Well, it's that me that I ask, you know, in terms of smoking, because every time you talk to somebody now about something, him say, well, it no cause cancer. Like cancer is the only sickness. You don't feel, say, the smoking itself, even though it might, it's like after effects. It's like a tablet where him say, it going to solve this, but there's a side effect to it. You know, seeing say the smoking of ganja have a side effect.
Well, I wouldn't say that ganja's for everybody. There are certainly some people that have some serious side effects, like some of these problems about schizophrenia with younger people, and some of the problems with younger people while their brains are still maturing can have some effects that aren't what everyone would think is positive. But overall, the 99% of everybody who uses cannabis, if they use it correctly, are going to benefit themselves by stimulating their natural endocannabinoid system and causing them to come to balance again.
So what you call correctly, use it correctly?
Well, if you understand that it's a naturopathic, holistic, herbal remedy to keep the mind, body, and spirit in balance, and you try to decide whether or not you're trying to balance your spirit or make it stronger, or if you're trying to make your mind work better, or if you're trying to correct an imbalance in your body. And one of the imbalances in your body, and what the medical industrial complex in America is counting on, is that you will get cancer. And cancer is a serious thing, killing many people and taking all their money and their family's money too. They're building cancer centers across America like you can't believe for hundreds of millions of dollars. Supposed to be a third or something like that of Americans are going to end up with cancer in the next 20 years or so. It's not a healthy society that we live in America. You in Jamaica have a much healthier society with whole foods.
Yeah, but so we have follow no. We have follow on right now, you know, cause if you can look and see the fast food restaurant, them left Jamaica, left America and come down here, so Kentucky, Burger King, and all sort of thing. We import all of these foreign food. 60% of our food come from America.
Well, in America right now, about 60% of everything that's in the supermarkets is contaminated with genetically modified organisms like corn products. Wheat and
alfalfa, soya bean,
right? Yeah. And these genetically modified organisms are not ones that exist in nature and are foreign to the human body.
Yeah,
and certainly the body doesn't like that. But the body does like cannabis. That's why they can catch people. Because it stores the THC in the fat cells. It's important as sugar to run the body. The body wants to keep it. And when the body keeps it, Babylon can catch you by running the drug tests.
Yeah, all right. This quality, this connection with the body.
Right.
What is the best way to harness that in our body?
Well, let's talk about cancer for a minute.
Yeah.
If there's a thing called Rick Simpson's oil, and it's a man in Canada who discovered to treat his skin cancer that if you took an extract from the plant, which was generally done by putting a solvent over the plant and then boiling the solvent off, and what's left over looks like a hash oil of some kind. If you put that on skin cancer and a Band-Aid on your face, in 2 weeks it'll go away. No more cutting. Well, they started using it for people who had other kinds of cancers. And the equivalent of about a pound of cannabis, when extracted, if taken over a 90-day period of time, can kill many forms of cancer. And I have seen it personally happen within my own family. When one of my cousins got cancer and started using the oil, the doctors gave him little hope with the chemotherapy. And were ready to put him on a more drastic chemotherapy, but he continued to take the oil, and he went in. Well, the doctors kept examining his tumors, and the tumors remained the same. And then they decided they'd step up the chemo by putting him in a hospital for a week, and then out for a week, and in for a week, and out for a week, and said it would be terrible and horrible, and the side effects would be disastrous. He decided he didn't want to do it until after Christmas. He and his wife thought it would be too much of an effect upon the family. So the doctor read the CAT scans now for the third time and ready to put him into the hospital, and they couldn't find any cancer at all, anywhere in his body. And they redid it again, and the 7 tumors that he had were gone. And the only real explanation is this Rick Simpson's oil. But if you go online, if you have access to the internet, or now everybody has someone who has it somewhere,
access,
look at this Phoenix Tears and listen to the people tell their stories about how it worked for them. And you'll be convinced that this is a possible magic bullet for people who have no hope.
Well, the brethren of the university, we just mentioned the two of them name who make these capsules for glaucoma and these things, must have recognized what you are saying in relationship to the discoveries of these effects that it have on the human body. But our one would have apply that in a life. Like, for instance, you talk about the cancer now.
Right.
You'd have to get somebody to show you, stipulate that you use this amount you drink this amount. Or you come to use it.
Well,
or you just do what you want to.
Here's everybody's body is a little bit different, but the way they did it is they extract the resins, and the resins have in it both THC and CBDs. And CBD is another element in the cannabis plant.
I never hear about that part. Tell me about the CBD. I never hear about that one there.
Well, the CBD is a non psychoactive ingredient within the plant, and it has various cancer-fighting attributes that THC does also, but the higher the CBD level, it looks as if it has the chances of being able to kill cancers, and they've been following it. There's a study called Project CBD that's done by a man by the name of Fred Gardner, who has a famous publication in America called O'Shaughnessy's. And they've been tracking this CBDs and people who are using it, and the results are just amazing, Muta. There are many ways to be able to take enough of it to correct a serious imbalance like cancer. And the problem is that it's somewhat psychoactive, and it kind of makes you a little bit tired. So the people gain a tolerance after a period of time of taking a little bit, just like, they start out like this. They get the oil and they press out on their finger what is about a half a grain of rice. They take and put it under their tongue and do that twice or three times a day for a week. And after a week, you build up a little bit of a tolerance, and you're not so sleepy or so much psychoactive, and you increase your dosage. So you stay a little bit under the psychoactivity, and now you start out with about a grain of rice, and you do that 2 or 3 times a day. And then after a week, if you can increase it just a little bit more until you're taking about 1 gram a day of this resin. But you have to work yourself up to it a little bit. And when the people are sleeping, when they're working themselves way up to this, sleep is a very healthful time. It's a time when you can mend and you can get strength. And these people graduate into being able to take up to 1 gram a day, and at the end of about 90 days, they're able to consume about 60 grams. Okay. And that 60 grams is doing amazing things with cancer and many other things. I can't give you all of them, but if you go online, you can find out everything. There's no secret anymore with the internet.
All right, look here. There was a brethren down the Peter Tosh thing from Negril. He have this pipe, and he was giving a sample of this. I don't know if you met him or you heard of him. Him say him have this. It's like oil,
right?
And him a get sample of smoke. Like you put it in the glass chillum state way,
right?
And you dry it, and him a say it good. It's a good way of consuming the herbs.
Same way as the vaporization.
It's the same way as the vapor thing.
Exactly.
Yes. Exactly. All right. Explain. I'm getting to the stage of. Where you the oil. It's not ash oil that they talk about. It sounds like ash oil to me, but it was like ash oil because ash oil gone way out there somehow.
Well, there's various ways of being able to extract the... I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a doctor, but I've seen a lot.
Yes.
There are... of extracting or getting the resin off of the plant. If you look at it with a magnifying glass, you can see the resins are crystals.
Yes.
And they're small. One of the ways they get it off is by freezing it off.
Oh, yeah?
They take and put it in... the newest thing is with dry ice. If you have access to dry ice, they just put the plant in a bag that has small holes in the bottom of it.
Wait, no, go slow. Boy, I hear this. Go slow, yeah. Come again.
The resins are very small.
Yes.
And they drop through a small screen, small holes that other plant particles can't go through. And when they take and they freeze the plant, it freezes the resin, it drops it off of the plant and drops down to the bottom of a container that has either a mesh on it that's real small or a screen. And through that drops these golden drops of resin. Yeah. And those resins are ones that can be used to vaporize or to turn to an oil or a tincture or to put it in alcohol or olive oil.
So it still maintain the THC in it? It still maintain it? Or
of course. That's actually where it's at.
You're concentrated now. It's like a concentrated version of THC.
It is THC. The thing that is different than THC are the leaf, the plant material, those kind of things.
Okay.
But it's this that is attached to the plant. The female cannabis plant produces it in abundance.
All right. What you buy when you buy hemp oil? When you buy hemp oil, what is it that you're buying?
Usually what you're buying the squeezings that come from the seed.
Yes.
And the seed has very many healthful attributes to it also, but it's not psychoactive.
Okay. So would you get a different feeling from the hemp oil as, for instance, the ganja oil, like some lamb's bread or some serious herb? Would you get the same feeling if you buy like a pint of hemp oil as opposed to a pint of lamb's bread oil? The seed from the lamb's bread has birthed the seed from the hemp.
Night and day.
Night and day. Explain that.
One is that the seed from the hemp oil, while it's very high in beta 3s and 6s. I think that's what they're called. The oil that you take from the seed, like flax oil, or the oil that comes from fish, those oils are necessary for the body and are very good for the body. But they're not psychoactive. The psychoactive oils that can be made from the resins that come from the plant as opposed to the seeds are much different.
You can't see that in the caliber them. I think you can actually see the resin sometime in the caliber. I don't know
if with the magnifying glass. If
that is where I look at.
Yes.
Or you have to use a magnifying glass to actually see it.
Well, it depends on how well you see.
Because sometimes it's some ganja but it goal, but the goal is not the whole of the plant. The goal is like dip on the plant, and maybe you can almost scrape it off. I don't know.
Sure, that's when they pull it off and they make the finger hash and things like that. It just comes onto your hands and sticks, and you scrape it off. And
we are discuss ganja on the cutting edge tonight. We are tell you that's a serious thing. Yes, we're talking about ganja tonight, marijuana, pot, Mary Jane. One time I did read, say there was a time when it was legitimate to plant ganja. You ever hear about that yet?
Oh, sure. In the late 30s in America, the competition with industry is the reason, as I understand, why ganja was made illegal in the first place. It was a book written by a man by the name of Dave West called Fiber Wars. Explained how the fiber from the plant was in competition with cordage that was made from plastics and other kinds of things, so they just outlawed the plant.
Yeah, they used to make rope with it and
all the sales that brought everybody to Jamaica were cannabis.
Ganja. Yeah. But there's a book named The Emperor Wear No Clothes.
Correct.
I don't know if you know that book.
I do.
Yes. All right. In that book, it tells you that the idea of cannabis or the word canvas actually related to cannabis, and that the first draft of the American Constitution was written on ganja paper.
Hemp paper, that's correct.
Yes.
And the first president, George
Washington, yes.
And Thomas Jefferson,
they planted.
They grew hemp.
Yeah, they used to plant it.
And sat on the back porch and smoked it.
It's amazing. And it was required too, that you planted.
Well, it was a law that when they took the Indians' land away, one of the things they had to do is they had to grow hemp.
Yes.
And then the Indians tried to grow hemp many years later. Alex Whiteplume in the Lakota Sioux on Pine Ridge. The FBI and DEA came in helicopters and guns. This is non-psychoactive herb to chop down the plants.
Yeah.
And they did that 3 years in a row. Finally scared the people off.
All right. Suppose a man plant hemp as opposed to, what would I say, ganja as opposed to hemp. Or one would recognize it. For instance, Jamaican police don't know the difference between hemp and ganja. So for it look away a ganja to them. So how would I recognize it?
Well, hemp, where I'm from, there's 500,000 acres of wild hemp growing. Nebraska has been one of the states that has not had any eradication efforts of it. We had hemp plants there long time ago.
And I know because I was telling the people them that this man here, when you go in house, him have hemp oil, hemp cookie, hemp sweetie.
Hemp everything, yes.
hemp this, hemp that. It's amazing. The man have hemp oil, hemp chocolate, hemp, all sorts of things. It's like I just that you eat brethren.
Well, they talked about 25,000 things being able to be used from the plant, and that's when they stopped counting.
Yeah, so you said, in Nebraska, they have how much acres are
500,000 acres.
500,000 acres.
Wild bird population, the pheasants and quail. And when the snow got deep, there were still these plants up, and they could forage for seeds and find seeds and eat them. So
what you do? What you do with it? I mean, people go there, just harvest it and do what they want to do?
It's still against the law to harvest it, but it can grow in your field, but you can't take it down or do anything with it.
It can grow up on your land, but you can't touch it.
Right.
You serious?
I'm serious. Well, the whole thing is madness. I mean, to think about passing a law against plants, and make a plant illegal.
Yeah. But what you say is that if you have 100-acre land and 50 acre of an hemp, the government now going to trouble you. But if you start to reap it,
they're going to give you a problem.
They will give you a problem.
Only the birds get to have it for free. That's not bad.
But that's funny. That's funny, though. That's funny. So
free for the birds.
And then the birds will take it and just drop the seed somewhere.
That's true.
It's like Monsanto. With for them seeds, where them just, pollute the other field with for them seeds over there. So a man just come and Monsanto just declare and say, you have him seed because of a trademark for the seed them. And if him find it in a your field, him go and go sue you. Well, I don't know if you know about that.
Oh, it's madness. That whole part where they're trying to, they have gag mouth agriculture. You can't even talk about or take pictures of cows or chickens or anything like that.
Because if you steal the idea.
Well, I don't know if it's steal the idea. It's show how horrible they treat your food.
Yes. Well, I just say like the bird now. It's like in Jamaica with bird pepper. The reason why we call it bird pepper is that when the bird is a fine bird, it's like cayenne pepper. And then when the bird, people are to plant it, but them seed just grow. Because the bird eat the pepper and then drop the seed somewhere. I see the seed start to come up. Right. Sometimes a man will plant herbs and police hold him feet and don't know. So it's all a bird drop the seed there.
Well, the same way with hemp. That's how it's carried around there and through the streams, and it grows. And it's It's actually kind of beautiful. There's some plants that are as high as 20 feet tall.
Yeah, I have seen plants that high. But wait, so these companies that produce like hemp cloth, hemp bag, hemp shirt, hemp this and that, they are the what they actually cultivate the hemp, because it would have seemed contradictory to what you say that you can't reap it because there's so much hemp things floating around now.
Well, there are many countries that allow hemp to be grown. Canada is one of them. China grows lots. And they just import the hemp from other countries, and then they make the shirts or whatever they make out of it.
So the hemp oil and the hemp, like what you have, when I'm seeing at your house now, you have hemp oil, hemp cake,
right.
hemp this, hemp that.
Right.
That is not manufactured in America?
Usually that stuff is manufactured out of the country because they're pressing it from seeds, like Canada.
Oh, so most of it come from Canada then?
Right.
Like the hemp oil, where you get it at the health food store, them and all them something.
Right, that comes from Canada also.
Yeah. So, but it's not illegal to have the hemp oil in America?
It's not illegal to have the oil because it doesn't have any THC in it.
Yeah. So if
or any CBDs. It's very healthful, but it can't cure a lot of diseases.
So how they manufacture the oil without the THC inside of it?
Well, they just squeeze it from the seed. The seed doesn't have the THC in it.
Okay.
The THC is on the buds, and that's that glistening resins.
So you have, if you have a barrel a seed, the police will come lick down your house feet.
Well, it's
a barrel of hemp seed.
Well, in America, it's against the law to have hemp seeds even.
Even though it does the THC in it.
Right. Unless the hemp seeds are sterilized. Like most of the bird seeds, feed bags, it's half hemp seeds. Mm-hmm. But they sterilize it so it can't grow again.
So how them come to these technicalities? I mean, like, you have the hemp seed, it do have the THC in it, but you can't have it. You have a field of 1 acre of hemp grow, but you can't reap it. I mean, who create them kind of technicalities there? I mean...
Well, almost all laws are made by people who have money, who get someone to pass a law to keep someone else from getting their money. And that's the history of the laws, and that's why, and that's who the courts enforce that. And you don't find many laws that are written by people for people.
Yeah. It's just there for the money man to protect the money man. So the money man pays somebody to make a law to protect free money.
As far as I know, that's correct. As far as I know, I only know one politician in the whole world who is free from any outside influence. That's a man by the name of Bernie Chambers from Nebraska.
Yes, yeah. All right. We see where the idea of bringing in ganja into America is a serious problem, especially right now with the Mexico thing, the borders. They might try to build wall like the Berlin Wall, like China Wall, go right round to prevent the Mexican them to come through. The Mexican them build tunnel that leads to some really strange place, you know. All right. In the legalization process, you feel say the price of ganja will go down, and the effort that is being made to carry ganja through the borders of America, you think it would drop the problems that now confront America as a consumer?
Well, the real problems that are confronting those people in Mexico who are being slaughtered by the thousands over the monies that come from America for people using cannabis. Those problems are horrible for them. The problem of price will certainly drop in America. The prices are about half of what they were 5 years ago.
Hold on there. This is the Cutting Edge and Iriefm. It grows in some conversation. It's like time does, though it don't even come nowhere. But it's 11 minutes past 12. We're talking to Ralph Smith here about ganja, simple ganja we are working with here tonight. That's about the Mexico factor, where it would have been cheaper.
Well, the legalization, like in Colorado, has caused it to become much cheaper because everyone now can grow 6 plants in their own house.
So I guess crime gone down in that area.
Every time they let the more people use cannabis, the
crime
more
go down.
Crime
go right down.
Crime go right down every time.
I hear that report that since the legalization, crime gone down in Colorado. It's amazing.
Well, it's that way in California too. But the situation is that when cannabis is legalized, liquor by the drink, it takes a big hit. Budweiser has been reeling from Bud. A big lick. 25% of liquor by the drink is going to be gone. That means 25% of craziness is going to be gone.
Of course.
Poison is going to be gone.
Yes. All right. So, there's a school of thought out there that say people who smoke a lot of herbs, after a while, the herbs get so light to them that they need something else to stimulate them. So they either turn to coke or alcohol to enhance that feeling that the herbs eventually lose. Or you answer that?
Well, if people are using cannabis just to get a buzz, they're missing the boat. Because you end up gaining a tolerance to the buzz, just like you gain a tolerance to alcohol. If you start out, you drink a half a beer, you get your feel away, and if you drink 2 after a while, you don't have that problem, and all of a sudden people are drinking 10, no problem. Same way with cannabis, you develop a resistance, right? And so it's always, I think, bad to use it to get a buzz or to go away from yourself. Cannabis doesn't allow that to happen. It causes you to go within yourself, and it's why it can be very terrifying for a lot of people, because a lot of people, they don't want to know themselves. And when they do find themselves, they find it pretty scary. Right. But other people, they find themselves and they love it because they can all of a sudden be connected with compassion and the rest of the world, and feel a way that you can't feel with alcohol. There's no numbing. It's all opening up of the mind and the spirit. Yeah. And it's really not a war on drugs. It's more a war on consciousness.
Yes. Yeah. All right. In Jamaica, people use herbs in a many different ways. I don't know if you can explain to me the benefits of each different way. For instance, we talk about smoking, we talk about eating, we talk about drinking the tea, we talk about external use, we talk about the extraction of the oil, we talk about the vaporizing of it. There's different levels of using marijuana. I don't know if you can explain to Jamaica the benefits of the different ways. For instance, when you're young, your granny have ganja tea. You make ganja tea,
right?
When you have man who does smoke ganja the whole day. You have man who decides why I'm going to steam it. You have man who say, well, the capsule, can help him glaucoma and all these things. If you can explain to me the different benefits you get from using it in the different ways.
Well, if you eat it, it's much stronger. You can use a lot less and get the same therapeutic effect. If you eat too much, you can get yourself in some trouble, but you're not going to die from it. People can't. There's been no reported cases of people dying from using cannabis or even too much of it.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't talk about me using ganja like kalalo. We used to just cut the green ganja and just seize the top and cook it with rice and peas.
Well, that's another good way to do it. There's a doctor in California who has been juicing it and he juices the whole plant.
Yes.
And the results are amazing. There's no psychoactivity from it.
You're serious?
But the curative, his name
the
is...
The dry one or the green one?
The green one, a whole plant. He would take it, they water it down, and they juice it and drink it. And the health benefits are amazing. His name is Bill Courtney. And
like for instance, what kind of health benefits him get? Tell me.
Well, it's all from being people who are out of balance, who have illnesses and who have problems.
Yeah.
If you understand, again, the endocannabinoid system, we have this system within our bodies that we produce cannabinoids.
Mm-hmm.
It's in mother's milk. It's in every aspect of our being. Mm-hmm. And when we are healthy, our endocannabinoid systems are running well, and we are in good balance.
Yeah.
Well, one of the ways, the last time I was here, it was about trying to free up hemp.
Yeah.
And we thought that would be something that would be a natural for Jamaica, that has all this bauxite slag and things that if you planted hemp, which grows with next to nothing, but it re-evaluates the land. It puts nitrogen back in the land.
Nutrients,
right. And think of the happy parrots in this country with all that seed to eat and every other thing. But they didn't want to go for that. But while I was here, I came here on the Cutting Edge. I was also on the Breakfast Club. This was an idea of a mentor and friend of mine by the name of Perry Hensel.
Okay, he died out of the come.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he's the one who directed me towards the Cutting Edge and towards the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. And when I went to the Breakfast Club, I got invited to the home of a man by the name of Sir John Golding. He was a medical doctor. Mm. And he was telling me about his problem. He was knighted for his assistance, as I understand, to the poor and giving them some quality medical treatment. He had a hospice unit that he was running. Mm. And in the hospice, when people are ready to take their last breath, that's when they're the most out of balance that they've ever been in their life. That's when they need cannabis more than anything else. Mm. But what he was doing with these people who were dying, they are going through taking the regular morphine doses that kind of blanks out their brain and blanks out the pain and moves them towards death, Morpheus. But what John Golding had was his idea was in the daytime, he would give people these hash oils and things that the police were confiscating. He would get them from them, and he would give it to the dying patients in the daytime. And in the daytime, the people's minds woke up. And he was telling me stories about how people were in the wards and they're dying and they're on morphine, and somebody from country would come on a bus and literally have their food with them to come and visit with them and try to hear what Uncle Jack or John had to say. And he ended up eventually going home, and the people would ask questions like, well, what? And he said, well, maybe he recognized me, and maybe he didn't. I don't know. But I saw him, and he was breathing slow. And then when John Golding started giving these people hash oils, their minds woke up, and the conversations that they were having about their lives and what was going on and being able to pass on to the generation was the difference of night and day in this passing on to the other side when you have opportunity to be able to tell your family what you know and some of the secrets of your life were a thing that was something that he wanted to make happen over and over again. And his problem was that he didn't have a way to be able to gradate. He needed a machine that could give him a good dosage so he could dose his patients better.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was off trying to find one for him when he died of a heart attack. Oh. But I met Manley West while I was at T. And
same man who developed
the cannabisol, right?
Yes.
All right. 3 years later.
Let me ask you a question. Why some man make a child and it blow up and explode? I mean, out of the pressure cooker, it just blow up. What is it happening? What is happening You ever go among somebody where I make a shine and it explode?
Well, that's the same. They use a solvent to get the resins off, and then they try to boil the solvent off and forget that they're in a place where an open flame will blow them up. The best way to do it, according to Rick Simpson, when you look at the video, which you can look at by going to Phoenix Tears, he shows you how to make it. Is to take it outside and put it in a rice cooker. You extract you put the plant in a glass jar. You pour a solvent over the top of it. You hit it with a stick. You pour the solvent end through cheesecloth or some other kind of cloth, and you end up with a green liquid, and the herb is held back, the plant material. And then you take that green liquid and put it inside of a rice cooker. An electric rice cooker produces a temperature between 120 and 160 degrees and doesn't get too hot. But it's hot enough to boil off the solvent, and it's outside, and you just watch it boil off and boil off and boil off until finally it gets down to there's next to nothing. And then you end up taking that last little bit off after you get all of the water and solvent out of it, and then you take that and put it in little gel caps and swallow them and get well.
You have capsules.
Get well.
All right. Before we venture into that, we was talking about the different usage and the effect and what happens when you use it in certain way. I mean, that about smoking, drinking, eating. We didn't reach a stage of eating green herbs. I mean, I tell you, say, why, me as a man, there's a time when we just draw down the green tree, and just cook it like we are cook kalalo mixed up with cabbage and all something, and then the whole day we just sit down there and just, I said, don't do one of that now. We just easy, like so never had it. So
you're going to balance.
So we got a balance. All right. So explain to me now, as we that said, go down the line with eating, smoking, drinking, all the different ways that you can use it, and the effect.
It's one of the real shames of life is that we don't know exactly what the best way to take it is, or what the best thing is for this kind of ailment that you have one way or the other. We know that if you take that same oil and eat it, it can kill cancers and all kinds of other imbalances. We also know that if you put it on your face, it will kill the skin cancer. We know that if you put it on your breast where you have breast cancer, it will absorb into the skin.
What way?
The same oil.
The same oil, okay.
Same oil can be absorbed in through the skin, can be taken internally.
Not the hemp oil, though.
Well, hemp oil and this
oil
are different thing altogether.
Yeah, so we're about the hardcore lamb's bread.
Right.
Hardcore,
Right.
Yeah.
That's the oil that has the curative effect.
Yes.
And the other oil has good effects also, but it's not going to cure your imbalances that you have.
But people make claims when you're going at a certain store and you read the benefits of it. Them have this talk figure about this empire, the same thing where you talk about the ganja, them talk about the same thing without it. I personally doubt it because I say if one illegal and one come the way to you, why would it be doing the same thing where the one where illegal does? There's something discrepancy going.
The more illegal it is, the more it helps.
It's a better for you.
Right,
better, yeah.
Of course. And that's the reason.
That's how you have to work it out, yeah.
Well, think about America. They subsidize this corn. I mean, they subsidize the poison that's given everybody cancers and every other kind of imbalance. The government actually pays the people money to grow it, so they can turn it into cornflakes cheaper or feed it to cows cheaper and end up killing people over it. But this plant, the hemp plant, they spend millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. The best kept secret in the world is that cannabis is medicine. They've got most places in the world signed on to outlaw it. But in Colorado and Washington now that the people have voted to legalize it, there's a big crack in the dam. It's starting to spring out, and other countries are going to be legalizing it. Other states are going to be legalizing it, and there's no way to put this genie back in the bottle. Once people know how good it is for you, they can't help but tell somebody else. When a patient has a problem, and that's where this thing I'm working with now is this Cannabis Patients Union. We have a man by the name of Mark Patterson who's been going out and videotaping many people who have had these miraculous experiences by using cannabis. And that videotaping of those patients, when grouped together with the science that we've been doing with patients out of time, makes such a convincing piece of evidence. If you look at the people talking who don't know about how the science works, and then the scientists telling you why it is that it works this way, it all makes such perfect sense. It explains why it's illegal throughout the world, because of its competition with industry. I mean, think about this prison industrial complex that is locking up people right and left in America. We have 2.2 million people in prison.
They have the most prisoners in the world.
Per capita.
America have the most prisoners in the world per capita.
Many of them are because of drug crimes. I have a number of statistics here. I read them to you that just make you want to throw up.
But find them, man. Find them and read it, man.
Boy.
It's a serious thing.
Well, right now, we have the parole systems. We've got 2.2 million people behind bars. The amount of people of color is more than twice as much as people of not color. They've been locking up black people and ruining them. In Washington, D.C., I think it's 1/3 of every prisoner, every person black person has a record. It's wait. You say 1/3 of every black person in Washington have a prisoner record. That's correct. In D.C., the women in prison has been that have been convicted of drug offenses are disproportionately as affected by this war on drugs. The African American women's incarceration rates for all crimes are largely driven by drug convictions. They've increased 800% since 1986, and comparison to increase of 400% of women of other races, so twice as fast.
And we assume that most of these convictions is marijuana.
Well, many of them are marijuana, but the people end up going to prison for some kind of drug-related problem, and they don't get away from it. They come out, they're out of balance.
Yes.
They don't know what to do, and they smoke a little ganja. They find it in your system, and back to prison you go.
Yes.
But it's not just these women, and it's not just the men that get in prison. It's the families, the children that grow up without the love of a mother or a father end up having problems for the rest of their lives also, and are more likely to end up in prison. I mean, they have a direct pipeline from schools to prison now in America, where they're taking little children and searching them, taking 7-year-old children and give them a body search to see if they got some kind of aspirin with them or something like that.
I'm going to give a reasoning, and this is a serious reason. 2 years ago, we had a festival in Ireland named Sundance Festival. And a festival was keeping in Sweden. And a lot of the artists them who was on the Swedish festival was supposed to meet up to do this festival in Ireland. And you know what they was doing in Sweden? The police raided the festival grounds, which were the artists them there, and every Jamaican reggae artist that was there was taken to jail for a test, urine test, to see if them did have ganja in them system. We are talking about major Jamaican artists was tested in Sweden to see if them have, and you can't say no, because them hold you in the jail and for unlimited time. You see, when the man them reach in Alan, every man vex and a cuss. Say, boy, them hold them in the jail and every man have to get tests. Every man have to get tests to see if them have urine in them blood. So it's really a serious thing. When I hear you say, them old people and a test them find urine in your blood, you go back and find THC in your blood. Them send you in your urine, them send you go back a jail. It's the same thing that go on in Sweden.
Well, if you realize again, the reason why ganja is against the law is because of its competition with industry.
Yes.
Naturally, industry would want to stop people from being able to use cannabis.
Yes.
So if they try to make it so horrible for them that they're going to end up going to jail, which is, of course...
Because that you become a criminal if them catch you.
Sure, of course.
Yes.
And that's it. Anything that they can do to stop people from using a medicine is something that they're going to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
1/6 of the economy in America is the medical industrial complex.
Yeah.
The medical industrial complex is comprised of the pharmaceutical companies, the hospitals, the doctors, the insurance companies that sell the health insurance, etc. If cannabis were legal and people were able to medicate themselves appropriately by using by stimulating their endocannabinoid system with cannabinoids, it'd probably take a large percentage out of them. They're talking about another 20-25%. That means the insurance company is not going to get this many $1 billion because there's no need for it. People, again, being healthy and happy are not much good for
capitalist business.
Business.
Pharmaceutical companies who push certain things for you.
And what Peter said was the reason why they don't want me to have this plant is because I hold in my hand the direct communication with the Almighty. I don't need no middleman. I have my herb. And if you consider the Almighty everything, all the plants and all of the creatures and all of the cars, I mean, the Almighty's in everything. Once you feel and have some compassion for everything else, the whole world turns upside down.
Totally different.
Right.
This is the Cutting Edge on Iriefm. We're there with you, Ralph Smith. We're talking simply a ganja we are talking about. We want take some call, you know. But you know, you already call them now. We don't want nobody call me and come tell me, say, boy, Muta, you want to say a man drop down the road the other day, you know, and him girl come. We don't want none of that. We don't want a man call me and tell me, say, boy, right now, Muta, you want to say herbs are the healing of the nature, you know. We done did work out that already, you understand? So, if you have any question for the man in the studio, yeah, or just have a serious reasoning about the conversation we have, because I tell you the truth, you know, if a man call me and tell me about something else, you know, Rasta, I'm going to lock him off, you know, and you're going to vex, you understand? So, we want to keep focus. We don't want a man come here, so, and then sit down there and you talk about something we do have nothing to do with him sitting down there, you understand? So, anybody who have any call, want call and ask a man question and thing, remember, say, this is a part of our way of bringing to light this thing that create a vibes against Rasta in 1963, and where the penalty for it increased after 1963, because this month is where we call now remembering Carol Garden, and we're starting out with this thing named Ganja. Yes. Cutting Edge, yes.
Yeah, one love.
Blessed man.
Yeah, Conga Lion, you know, and blessed, glorious be to the Most High, you know, and yeah, blessed, glorious be to the Most High.
Brethren, ask a question, Rasta. Ask about glorious be to the Most High. Just ask the question.
African kings and queens, Mutabaruka.
Yeah.
Yeah, African kings.
The man now listen to, you see, at that me I try to tell a man, you know, Rasta, the man I listen to the radio behind him, you know.
Yeah.
And I tell me about blessed, and now tell what to say. And that me I show you say, that's why I don't like take call certain time, you know. I better we just go and talk, you know, because
Right.
I'm afraid if it ask, open up the phone line, or you have some man where just throw off the reasoning totally, and me so engrossed in the reason, you know, that some things I learn some things, you know, where me never really all my life have in Jamaica. Me never hear these things before when it pertaining to ganja. You understand? All right, California. Why is it that the most of the ganja plant in California, California seems to be one of the most liberal states. It's the fruit the food basket of America, but it's Colorado and Washington like almost lead the way in the whole thing. Why is it that California, being as liberal as it is, being as the most ganja we know plant of California, from south go right up to the borders of Portland. I mean, why you think that California never be the state where say, yeah, you know, ganja?
Well, it will happen in California. The next couple of years, there will be 5 more states that will come legal, and certainly California will be one of them. Mm-hmm. Probably also Oregon, and there will probably be more than half of the states that will be legal for medical cannabis soon. Mm-hmm. They're not just going to stand aside and let people flock into Colorado and fly in there and have a good time when the other states are standing there beside them.
Especially California. California
a lot of people.
A large state, large agricultural area, especially in the north side of California there, where, trust me, man, you have some ganja up there where make Jamaica and ganja look like joke business. You understand? I mean, all right. You know, I'm not talking about ganja bigger than Jamaican ganja. When you... The ganja that these youth are produce under them house in these places, like me go to Holland, you know, I'm going to a shop, a virgin say Mutabaruka, I'll show you something. Him carry me going in basement, and when me looking at basement, me see all these tube and these wires and these lights and some serious ganja bud in there. You feel say them ganja they have the same quality as the ganja we grow in the sunlight, or it no make no difference based upon the scientific approach?
Well, I think it pretty much doesn't make much difference. But if you control the environment in every respect, mm-hmm. Then you're able to grow a superior product.
Yes.
But you might not be able to grow as big a product. In California, different counties have different requirements as to how many plants you can grow. Mm-hmm. Some counties, like in Oakland, you can grow 72 plants if you have a recommendation for doctor.
In California?
Right, in Oakland, California.
Okay, you can produce 72 plants.
72 plants. And you can have 3 licenses in one house, so you can produce...
3 times 72?
Yeah, 216.
And if you come with 220, them arrest you?
No, actually, they don't even bother to look. They don't want to count that high. You know, they're too busy eating donuts.
Yeah.
But if you live in one of those counties, you can grow quite a lot. But in other counties, they want to restrict you to growing a fewer amount. So they've counteracted that by growing some plants out there that produce between 5 and 9 pounds per plant. And these plants have stalks that are 6 inches across.
With a 9 pound per plant?
Right.
And it has the same potency?
More.
Yeah.
And the plants are 15 feet tall.
No, when I see some 15 feet tall, me have a stick on my yard where a man who knows it's a ganja stick. Or M stick is really a M stick still, where it's really taller than me still. But when I say 9 pound?
Right, from one plant.
You're serious?
I'm serious. But when they restrict the plants, they just grow bigger plants, that's all.
Yeah.
And
so what them do what is the method that is used for harvest such a plant? 9 pound, one ganja plant.
Well, they give it lots of food, lots of nutrients, and they give it lots of water, and they give it lots of sunlight. Grown outside.
Even though it at the sun. Oh, you're talking about the one at the sunlight.
Yeah, this is grown outside.
Well, but I'm talking about the one now inside, under the basement, where you have all of these tube and this and that.
Well,
growing.
they can grow as many as 4 crops per year in the same place inside.
Inside.
So they can. They're very rapidly producing plants.
Mm-hmm.
The people who grow this plant, I've represented lots of them over the decades. And each person that I've talked to, they talk about the time that they spend with this plant as almost a holy experience. They look forward to coming and getting next to the herb.
Like the sacred cow, man.
More so. And when they use it, they grow a plant like this for their own medicine. Yeah. The medicine becomes very powerful because they believe in it. Mm-hmm. And they watch it, and they treat it with kindness. And people end up hugging trees. They don't want to kill things. They
become one with it.
Exactly. That's actually the what I believe to be the most powerful nuclear bomb in the world is the female cannabis plant. And if that could be coupled with the nurturing instincts of the female human,
yes,
they together can change the planet.
Yes.
And I'm kind of looking forward to that as a happier time.
I know so Rasta man first time, You see when him plant him herbs, you see when him go out there, it's like him wife. It's like him wife him I work with it, so come most of the man they really never have no woman still. But really, you see when him going at the field, man, and him take a body it and nurture it and set it up and everything. Trust me, man, you can't even walk near. And really, because I tell you the truth now with them rats, them never used to burn it. Them man, is either him eat it, or him drink it, or something, but him never used to burn it. That means me grew up with this feeling like, why burning herbs come like police when police come burn down your ganja. Because it come like waste of time if you want to take 6 months to grow your herbs and then you just sit down there and take matches and burn it. So the process of eating it and drinking it and everything there was where them Rasta man really deal with it. Because you can't go in at them man there, please. Go talk about you want to burn him ganja. Him say, him ask if you're police. Because him say, I'm going police want to come burn down him ganja. So him not like when him hear another Rasta man come talk about him want burn ganja. See, because the way him take care of the ganja, I tell you what, it's like,
Well, it's easy to see reverence within that plant. There's no other communicator in the world like the communication of love and peace and consciousness that this plant has for humans. That of course must be stamped out. Because if you love everybody, there's no more war. If there's no more war, there's no more big dollars to siphon off. People, the most revolutionary thing in the world, I believe to be, is setting this plant free. The segregation of humans, and I'm talking segregation, segregation of this plant from humans is a worse crime against humanity than was apartheid.
What is a ganja man?
Think about it.
Really ganja man. This is the Cutting Edge on Iriefm. Listen to the program. What we are talking about just now? What we are saying about it?
I the weed thing, I say. Love the weed vibe, man. I say. With the fertilizer, man, I use. Man, I use no fertilizer on the weed.
You might use fertilizer now? Okay, where you want them use? Because me man used to use rock bat.
Rock bat shit, the man used to use cow, grass.
Chicken.
Chicken. No, sir.
You know why them use the chicken one?
No, Rasta.
Why them not for use the chicken? Tell me.
Chicken have beer slam shit.
No, we don't stop talking. Stop. Say something else, man.
A beer slam.
What kind of chicken you are talking about, you know? Because chicken manure are the best manure when we really chicken.
Man, that smell away.
Well, apart from the rat bat, which we have said the rat bat reached number 1, but The chicken to me is the second in line, even more than the cow dung. What you say?
Oh, sorry, the chicken not Rasta.
The chicken not work. All right. So, you say cow dung or rat bat?
Rat bat and cow.
Cow dung or rat bat?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, isn't it?
So when you are plant yours, how you use rat bat or cow?
I mean, you plant herbs and I buy them.
Oh, you buy your herbs.
So
you know say herbs. Oh, you know say fertilizer in the herbs when you are using.
I'm gonna talk about it every tune or whatever.
No, me I talk about you know when you buy herbs. You don't know say you know fertilizer herbs different from ital herbs.
Okay. Yeah. I'm saying yeah.
You know ital herbs from
more I touch about more time. More I touch about it just pop off. It's me as I just.
Oh, that's what the fertilizer one. Okay.
When I say I like money more, money for easily refer to.
Yeah, just go find some rat.
Yeah, rat.
Our cow. All right, sir.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Give thanks. Yeah.
Bless up, please, sir.
Yes.
Love you back, man.
Yeah, man. All right, Ralph.
Yeah.
All right. In America, like in California, that's or no, when you want to plant herbs, when you use for aid the growing of the herbs?
Well, they use all
as manure. When you use?
Well, rat bat is great, and you're right about that. But they use all different kinds of nutrients in
organic nutrients are fertilizer, chemical.
Organic nutrients are used often.
Okay.
If people are growing it for medicine, they're doing it all organic.
All organic.
Right.
Okay.
But the real fact of the matter is that it's all medicine.
Yeah.
If you have your choice of using something that has a type of fertilizer that you don't personally agree with, it's still better than not using any cannabis at all.
Okay.
Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to...
easy, I got you about it.
Well, that's true. What I would like to see, I would like to see Jamaicans with their music use it more politically to talk about the inspiration that all artists get from using cannabis. If the artists were to stand up for their own inspiration and sing about it, or paint about it, or do the things
But I know you know music sing about ganja like reggae music.
Well, nobody has, but like when the Jamaicans got after this apartheid business, and they started, Bunny was Bota the Mosquito, and all of the musicians got together, and they really started getting on it for a while. That was very strong in the world. Lucky Dubé was one of the people who was doing it. He had a concert down there in Durban. It had 1.2 million people in it. The power of music, which is not regulated by the forces that regulate the print and the news media and all of that kind of stuff. The music is a powerful media that's not been exploited.
So, you know, she said reggae music over the years have been doing that work.
And they just need to step it up when it comes to herb.
Yeah, need to step it up. All right, sir. Yes, blessed. Yeah.
Yes, Muta.
Yes, sir.
You know, I just want to ask the doctor if...
No, I'm not a doctor, you know.
All right. Sorry, sir.
Doctor.
But I just want to ask the researcher then, because I guess that's what it is.
Yeah. Talk now?
Yeah, as may I say, with blending the tobacco with the herb, if it has any bad effect, bad effect for the body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's that me the one. I'm blessing.
All right, listen to him. I say,
absolutely. Tobacco is poison. People who use it poison themselves. They causes cancer and all kinds of other related problems. If you want to lessen the poison that you're getting from the tobacco, you could put herb in it. That would make the tobacco less poison. But why not just get rid of the tobacco and just get pure medicine?
That may I say too. I think any Rasta will put tobacco in a ganja should be arrested.
Well, it's not too Rasta. It's not too Ital. It's everything but that.
Because I don't know how the hell it reach a stage there where Rasta smoke ganja and I get a cigarette and a roll, put cigarette in. I don't know how it reaches. So I don't know what's the purpose of it. It just look after me. It look stupid. It look ridiculous. It look un-Rasta. I don't know. It just look un-Rasta to me. And I feel some man should I get arrested for it. Well, mix up pies with such a soul food.
In America, they have all these concerts in Northern California. And some of the greatest reggae concerts you ever saw. Boy, they have the money to bring the artists from Jamaica. And they knock the socks off of the place.
Sierra Nevada Festival.
Right, boy, just unbelievable. But I was they hold them at the county fairgrounds. And at the county fairgrounds, they got apple pie and they got every other kind of thing, but they smoke herb, they vaporize herb, they eat herb, and they walk around with it openly, and no police bothers anybody. But boy, if you light a cigarette, some little old lady's going to come up and she's going to give you a raft about how you're supporting these corporate criminals that are enslaving the world and make you go stand by the fence. And if you stand there and act silly, they hit you.
Yes.
They'll come right after you. But you can smoke herb openly anywhere. But boy, you better not smoke a cigarette.
Yes.
Right.
In Jamaica now, you have all the Rasta just draw out a cigarette and roll it like a ganja. It's a terrible thing. Yes. Cutting Edge.
Greetings.
Yes, greetings.
Muta, how are you doing?
Yes, Jalani.
Yeah, man, may I listen to the program?
You have to talk into the phone more.
Me talking on the phone now, but the instrument might not be the best one.
Okay, all right, yes.
No, I was saying that I'm enjoying the program.
All right, sir.
Greetings, Ralph. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Jelani.
Yeah, the thing about the chicken, I think what the brethren was trying to express is that much of the chicken droppings is produced from the chemical food that they get. So chicken is not the best source of manure because you're getting a lot of chemicals back into the product.
Yeah, but that seems like the cow has the same problem too.
Well, I think that chickens are more factory-fed than cows generally. But from a point of view of availability, the chicken thing is usually contaminated. I think that was part of his...
When I tried project.
Yeah, that is not the ideal stuff.
Yeah.
But, I'm listening to the program, and one of the conversations I've heard recently, especially as it relates to the herb that has chemical in it, is that the idea of natural tobacco provided a kind of filter to break down the chemical components. I don't know if this is true, but this is something I've heard as a theory.
But Jalani, you saying the rest out there getting a natural tobacco? To say it pass a craving and bust the back.
No, man, the Grabba thing big out there, and much of the Grabba I gather is pretty much natural.
No, man, I see him bust and just take him finger and just put it all over the spliff and roll it up back,
But Muta, if you pay attention, over the last 3 years or so, or 5 years, the Grabba is more the choice than...
we are saying, people more use Grabba,
Yeah, Grabba is more popular. And I'm thinking that part of the logic is that you have so much, what you call the high grade that is not necessarily organic, And
so the Grabba balance it?
That's what some older people say that it helps to filter the...
So which part the Grabba come from? No, India the Grabba come from?
No, man, the Grabba is local Grabba.
Oh, the local one?
It's local Grabba that them selling some liquor.
Oh, because I see them have packaged Grabba were imported.
Seeing. But on the other aspect that Ralph was mentioning... though,
no, they don't come out for the Grabba thing. Right. You say you have people who produce Grabba on it.
Yeah, man, Grabba business, in fact, if you talk to the herb man... them
use the Grabba. Yeah.
The Grabba is almost as lucrative as herb.
As herb, yes.
Yeah, because it sells for quite a bit of money.
Okay.
There's a high demand for it.
Yeah. So them nobody use the cigarette again. Some people, nobody use the cigarette
again. In fact, I would say more often than not, people are using Grabba than tobacco now, than regular cigarettes.
And the Grabba is mostly Jamaican grown.
It's mostly Jamaican local grown stuff.
Okay.
The big leaves them.
Yeah.
Seen.
All right.
And I think it's mostly natural tobacco, that is. Yeah, man, Grabba thing big out there, right?
Yeah, what we do about the Grabba business, man. I pay a Grabba man, I put them herbs down.
Yeah. In fact, one of our herb brethren tell me said they're making about the same amount of money on a boat. So the Grabba is a major sale item.
Okay.
The Native Americans, Jelani, that I know up in, they talk about how the white man brought alcohol to them. And messed them up terribly when they got even with them by giving them tobacco. And,
okay, I see what you're saying.
So just
right. But aren't there some groups that use tobacco in ritual ways?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that like in some traditions like Santeria.
The Indian them use it too.
Yeah, the cigars are often on the altars, and the devotees sometimes use it as a part of them ritual.
Let me ask you a question. What is the benefit of Grabba?
Grabba have a kick, I gather, that people like.
No, but in terms of the Rastafari element, the Rastafari reasoning. There was a reasoning when Rasta give out Ganja, So now we are married Ganja now with Grabba. What is the reasoning now that is given in terms of the spirituality that define Rastafari, why a man would mix
with
this natural product, Grabba, with this natural product, Ganja? What is the spirituality that define that mixture?
Well, what I was saying is that it wasn't as spiritual, but is one based on the fact that it's pure chemical stuff is out there now.
Yeah.
And some people thought that
the Grabba balance the chemical in the Ganja.
Yeah. But another brethren is saying that the Grabba is changing the meditation,
Well, it must change the meditation.
Herb meditation is not what people are getting now.
But obviously, so where you ask about that, Ralph? I
think Jelani talked about it. It gives them a kick. They
kick him.
Right. It makes their gets them high. The nicotine, and that's what people are searching for. They're not searching for consciousness because they're not going to find it with.
So it's not a Rasta thing then. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's something
it's
that
more
is
of a feel-good thing in terms of. In fact, a lot of what happens is when the herb need a little kick or boost.
Yeah.
People add Grabba, and the more Grabba you add, is the stronger.
So maybe that will lead him to alcohol soon. Because I kick him a look, I get a police to kick him down or something. But it appeared to me that after the Grabba is maybe alcohol or cocaine.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, I never say I know about it. It was a speculation. I speculated.
No, I know you say still.
Yeah.
But I think that the person who smokes herb, in our culture, as a kind of cultural and a social relation to it.
To the Ganja.
Yeah.
But no, we introduce Grabba into the whole mix of the thing now.
Yeah, but I don't think that is an alien still, because cigarettes are not, foreign to our thing. And I'm not saying that other aspects of smoking are foreign, but I don't know if the herb smoker is necessarily trying to go to Ganja in our context. In fact, that's one of the things that I wanted to mention. We're doing this survey. And part of the survey was to assess whether people had changed their perceptions over time.
You mean of Ganja?
Towards Ganja. One of the common things outside of prison was that people thought it would get them, crazy. Mm. That is a big reservation I think many conservative Jamaicans had. Mm. And I think more increasingly people have dispelled that myth. It gets you crazy. I don't know if people are so afraid of the jail thing in Muta. I mean, I know that people don't want to be caught as traders, but the man who smoke herb, I think, willing to defend it.
But him no want to go jail, go turn criminal.
No, man, you don't want to go jail, but you got to defend it.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask you a question now, because it's a Rasta perspective me I look upon now, see? All right, Rasta come with this argument about sacrament and herbs is the healing of the nation and all these things. All right, so he might introduce this thing named Grabba now, which I never hear about Grabba until the other day when
recent thing, more or less, in the way that it's taken on.
Yeah, because I know them used to import Grabba. Them used to import Grabba, you know. All right. So when I say no, I could say no, this Grabba thing take on now. What is the justification? I mean, apart from you are telling me now, say, well, right now, it get a little kick. Which is not that Rasta that I look for when him they talk about herbs. It's not a kick him that I look for, you know.
Yeah.
Right, him that look for opening a consciousness according to what Smith say. All right. So, is that change in face of Rasta? Is that where I say that Rasta now?
I don't know if it is wise to associate the way that herb is being used with the Grabba as Rasta.
So it's not a Rasta thing.
It's a popular trend.
Yeah, but Rasta include it in them something. Rasta just like all of it include the cigarette in them something to the Rasta.
Some brethren might do that, but I've noticed that it's more young non-Rastafarians that are using this like that.
Okay, you know, find a big Rasta man like me, like my age or your age.
It's youth, younger people.
Like your age.
Younger than me. Me an older person still in. Me I talk about people under 30.
Well, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Me say, man like you, your age, roll out cigarette. Mm-hmm. Me say, older man than you, roll out cigarette and put in a ganja.
Seeing.
And roll it as a spliff and smoke it, Rasta, with them grey locks.
No, okay, but Muta, you must understand that where herb smoking is concerned, there are various different philosophers. Some older people like Plano generation will tell you that herb should be filtered with tobacco, and them like the idea of blending.
But
and then
a younger
generation come with the more ital herb, saying, you know, let's burn all of the tobacco and go straight for the herb. But I think what I'm saying now, there's a new one now that is the Grabba. And the herb thing.
Yeah.
It's not cigarette, it's more gone back to the tobacco. And the preparation is, you know, you flake it up.
Yeah.
And all of that.
All right, you see.
And I think there's different kinds of philosophies because, as I said, the Grabba, I hear people of the generation before saying that tobacco filters the herb and the herb filters the tobacco.
Yeah, and I also hear Rastaman burn out tobacco smoker all time ganja. Yeah. Terrible burning.
But if the tool tobacco is something that works almost in the opposite way of herb. You know, one constricts the vessels, one opens the vessels.
Open the vessel. But what is it? But if you say the Grabba gear kick, that means it contradict the herbs too. Mr. Pavaways, Mr. Smith say so. Mr. Smith say if it's a kick, look, therefore it gone from the spirit to being just a lick.
The Grabba will frighten your receptors in a way that, you know, people who are looking for a rush, right, will find. A herb is not going to do that.
Yes.
And I think that is the difference. You know, so if you want something crude, and people add more Grabba for the bite.
For the kick. No, the bite. You got to bite from kick to bite.
Well, I'll tell you, there's no endo-grabber system that your body has. It's not natural. You have an endocannabinoid system that is made to transport cannabinoids that come from the plant throughout your body and to assist you in balance. And tobacco just doesn't have any of those qualities. It unbalances.
So what's about the Grabba?
Grabber and tobacco, that's the same thing.
Yeah, but them not see it as the same because when I come out of the cigarette and when I come natural.
Well, there's a natural poison and a manufactured poison. There's still poison.
Still poison.
Right.
Where's about that, Jalani?
Ralph was saying something about the songs and apartheid.
Yes.
The music.
The ganja music, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is, I mean, already there's a disproportionate high amount of ganja.
Ganja music.
Yeah.
May I tell you?
But I think what he was suggesting is that there could be a more political application. To
push the music. Yes. Like what Peter Touch do with legalize it.
Yeah.
Well,
so is it that the conversation that we're having is not clear enoughly strategic as a strategy for
legalization?
Yeah.
Well, the strategy that I would like to use by using the music politically would be to have the artists put into their songs something about science that is real, that you couldn't be able to say, oh, that's just a next ganja song. They're just sitting on the corner doing this and that. But when they say that, like Musty says it relieves spasticity.
Like legalize it.
Right.
Good for glaucoma, good for...
And talk about it in a real form. And when people understand the science, if they start singing about it...
I understand why you're saying.
What would end up happening, though, is that the reggae... musicians could start a fire amongst the rest of the musicians and have it jump genres, because it's not just reggae musicians who use cannabis for inspiration. There are musicians across the world who are singing some hillbilly music that use cannabis for, like Willie Nelson. To get all of those people together and sing would be a voice that would be hard to pass up. We're now working with this... our Cannabis Patients Union, where we're hoping to unionize, collective, and network the million cannabis patients in the United States. The people are scattered; they have no voice. Most of the patients are without money. They don't. They're down in their luck and their health, and they're finally finding this thing that is helping them deal with their problems. We, with Cannabis Patients Union, hope to be able to collect and allow the people to talk with each other about how they use it for medicine, and then allow them to eventually be able to tell their doctors that they want to be treated with their endocannabinoid system in mind. When they give them some kind of pharmaceutical, they want them to also be able to know that they're using cannabis. That's the thing that has come out of the closet with Colorado. Now that it's legal, people start talking to their doctors about it and telling them, look, we know this is healthful for us. We don't want to take this pharmaceutical in this
get some ganja in our
right. So we want to work together. If we can create a common voice of people who use it as medicine, then the world will start shaking.
I like the idea of that, united artists sort of approach that is not just a local effort, but a more international one. In fact, I was reading recently where it is said that because of the influence of Jamaican music and the influence of our herb smoking, rap itself shifted from crack more to ganja. I don't know if there's any truth in that, but that the rap music itself was more
drugs
directed
related
at the crack sort of celebration, but with the Snoop Dogg influence, etc.
Gone more to the ganja vibes now.
Yeah, the ganja vibes became a more dominant one among the rap artists, etc. So, I mean, the idea of the appreciation across genres and internationally, and the way a solidarity could, be
come
forged through that.
Well, I mean, if we keep saying it, we're going to hear it.
No.
And there are enough famous artists who are clearly associated with cannabis singing and usage.
Yes.
Man. Muta, you can probably do something as a major artist, man.
I don't smoke herbs. Look here now. Tell me something. Chalice is a thing of the past in a Rasta, like museum. It's a museum thing, You just look on Chalice and chill 'em. Cause I don't think most of them youth know when they chill 'em. So I wonder if Chalice is a thing of the past.
But it's not. I think a lot of things have happened, especially with the way policing happens. A spliff is easier to deal with. But and in fact, that is one of the things that the sociologists say, that Rastafari has kind of shifted from reasoning around a chalice to a more individual spliff orientation.
But the spliff to me come like a cigarette in night level. It not deal with that. It's like
a different meditation.
Yeah, it's like a man that smokes spliff in a certain groundation.
It's a different thing because remember that the chalice usually is a communion.
Communion, yes.
With a blessing.
You pass the chalice. You pass the chalice on the left hand side, right hand side.
And just, to know whose turn next and, where the reasoning is going and the kind of meditation.
And you chant a psalm before you take the chalice and pass it around.
But people still use chalice. I mean, in fact, interestingly, I saw on Facebook a group of sistren, and it's chalice them had.
Yeah.
In a picture, and I thought to myself, wow, that this is a kind of revolution. It's not man smoking chalice now.
Woman. But you see, the proliferation of spliff amongst young Rasta kind of scare me. Scare me because I know that man just use it as a bypass to say him not smoke cigarette, him smoke spliff. And really and truly, most of the man them still know a grind spliff and them unmiggle. It bother me. It bother me because from spliff to what? From spliff to what? I mean, what after spliff?
Well, the thing about it though, and I think that this is something that we have not been honest about, is that the spliff has really created less discipline around the herb rituals.
Of course.
Which, you got Ethiopia and you can't sit down and eat injera by yourself. You have to eat it with 2 or 3 people.
Yes.
Well, a spliff is something you can do by yourself. Whereas a chalice, you don't really burn a chalice by yourself. Even though you can.
Yeah, but you don't do it by yourself, obviously. Yeah, it's a communal thing.
And in a sense, the convenience of a spliff kind of changed the meditation from sitting within a reasoning and sipping a chalice.
Yeah, instead of the blood and the bread, you get a chalice.
See? Yeah, if you want to put it that way. But it's more so that this is not something that you do willy-nilly. You really, you do it when you're ready and you
consciously. You do it consciously.
The environment has been prepared.
Yes. Yeah, man. That's why it's a sacrament.
Yeah.
What we see now is not sacrament.
In fact, when I talked to the brethren in the Eastern Caribbean, one of them was reminding me that in a place where the Indo retention is high, where there's a lot of East Indians, like in Guyana, for example, the way Farai relates to herb and chalice is different. That at the end of the day, all social classes will come around the same chalice and sip.
Yes.
And it does become that unifying.
The Native American do the same thing with power. Them sit down around and ground and smoke. Yeah. Smoke tobacco, so like them see it as another level,
Yeah.
Anyway, give thanks, brethren.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks for the input. Yes. I know the man called your name originally. Saying was that where say it was, Ralph?
During the reggae conference.
The reggae conference, right.
Yes. We had a panel because, and just this is the last thing I'm going to say. We had a panel that tried to look at a range of approaches to Ganja and Jamaican music celebration, including one that tried to count the amount of songs that have been released in reggae.
With Ganja in it?
With Ganja in there.
Well, I have most about 100 artists right now.
Well, you're right, because it's over 200 songs that we have collected, and we know we don't have all of them.
Yeah.
But the basic point is that if we don't bring forward what would be the folk research, because these songs, as much as Ralph is saying that we need more scientific content in the music, these songs represent a level of folk application and folk celebration. It's good for your eyes. It make you feel well all the time. It's good for flu and various different things that people ascribe it to. It gives you a good meditation. It makes you feel less stressed. And in documenting the popular application, then you are really saying that this is the voice of the people as well. So it's an important part of, I'm saying that the research and the exposure and the conversations like what is happening here is an important part of the dialogue building.
Definitely.
Which has happened in places like America, but we don't really start that yet. We have more to gain.
Yeah, give thanks, man.
Yeah, man, that's it.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on Iriefm. We're talking Ganja tonight. Simple. Basically, I don't know if you ever had a program in Jamaica where we spend so much hours just to talk about Ganja. Yes, I would never scratch the surface yet about it, Ralph, we're in the last part of the program now. Tell me something what you not said before.
Well, talking to Jelani is always inspirational. He has some things to say. I would love to see, maybe you could start up, Muta, is the legalize it and then just add verses. How much can we get? 10,000 verses about how it's good? Can we get 10,000 different verses? Legalize it, it's this, it's that. Boy, I tell you, it'd be the longest song in the history of the song.
It's not long. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Blessed. I like the program tonight, yeah.
Give thanks, man.
Yeah. I regularly listen to the program, man. I love how the man make the thing kind of uplifted to the youth them and the elder them too.
Yes.
You understand? So each one can learn something, you understand? About them own. Whereas black people you deal with.
Yeah.
And black people, the country there.
Yeah.
So more time, I want to the youth them say, you are part of the success, so we have meditation with more time and focus on something good, you understand?
Yeah.
Because the grabber is like a cocaine thing.
Why you say that?
Back in the 70s, I was at the rude boy stiff, but they want it. You understand? So the youth them know, I see them thing with the grabber thing. You understand? Because I see the youth them head at, and then do something you know. Man can do that, but the grabber really...
Yeah, I grab them.
The mentality. Grab them. Same way, so.
Give them a kick.
Yeah,
I make them kick somebody. So. Yeah.
Them get caught in it and then not realize, but next 10 years, you realize it'll be something where no man wants to smoke.
Yeah. That's why I say after that, what next? Because it's either you go to something, because your body will get so used to it now that it not give you that kick again. So you're gone into something else. So it's either you go alcohol or you go cocaine or crack.
Well, I really think, you know, I'm a see it, but you have to get in your program to realize these things.
Yeah.
You understand? And acknowledge the righteousness about black people and the goodness of being black.
Yeah, man.
So, I say?
Yeah, man.
Because a whole bad thing, me as a youth just go on with. And by adapt to you, from Ella, it make me say, well, so I'm a self me I kill.
Yeah.
I'm a self me I hurt.
Yeah, man.
You see me?
Yeah, man.
So every Wednesday I have to be a my Sabbath.
Yeah.
You know, so boy, me I have a look of meditation.
Right,
I have a self to I and I self.
Yeah,
with
man.
it, me can sit back when I do. During the days pass.
Give thanks, man. Give thanks.
Which years the way I passed up.
Yeah, man.
You see me? So me listen to you when I'm there Jamaica, I'm there England.
All right, sir.
You understand? Because me know say Marcus Garvey, they are not familiar listen to him.
Yes.
You understand?
But
so use my Marcus Garvey.
Cutting edge there. Yes, sir. Blessed man.
Yeah, you understand?
Give
use
thanks, Marcus. Give thanks.
Yeah? So, and your cousin Paul, you know Paul from America, come down and
then if you say I'm a cousin, no, you ask me if I know him. I know Paul, yes, but I'm a cousin.
All right. I'm Arjun, so if you tell her to say me, you want to go Virgin way.
Yeah.
Over going to Portmore, 2 East. So, email the host, because I don't want to export the thing, because I don't always say certain things, so I can't export the thing like that anyway.
All right,
you understand?
Yeah, man.
So, in that morning,
work it out.
The other end.
Give thanks.
Yeah?
Yes.
So, blessed, yeah, man.
Yes, Ralph. Last round with the pan, you know.
Well, you know, I like to talk about what we can do, what we can do to help stop and alleviate this unnecessary human suffering. You talk about the suffering that goes on that people have because they don't have their endocannabinoid system balanced well, and the suffering they have because they don't have their mind balanced well or they don't have their spirit balanced well. It's really time to understand that this suffering needs to stop. Don't think about just your aunt or your grandmother or somebody. Think about somebody 100 years from now or 50 years from now or however many years it's going to take before every person in the world has a chance to be able to use cannabis to balance their life out. Well, those millions of hours of unnecessary suffering are being, they're profit for somebody. People can profit from suffering. People can't profit from people being balanced and comfortable. So I would love to see Jelani started to talk a little bit again about getting all the artists together that are inspired by cannabis, like like Bob, look at the message that he sent to the world. My understanding is that Bob never wrote one note unless he had some kind of herb in his hand or in his mind, one way or the other. Those messages of consciousness that went out are ones that will probably not be matched. But I think that Peter's going to start coming into his space more now that herb is going to be legalized. And make no mistake, herb will be free. She will be unchained, and she will be allowed to communicate with the rest of the world like she's supposed to. And it's not just humans that have this endocannabinoid system. It's every creature from a sea squirt to a human. All the animals have an endocannabinoid system. All of them, when thrown out of balance one way or the other, could be balanced back again. They use it for horses. They use it for other animals that are valuable.
Yeah.
And we have suffering. If you hear the screams of those people, you hear the screams of those people, you want to do something about it. The nurses of the world, the patient advocates, those who want to stand up for other people, they need the help that you can give.
Yes. Well, this is part of the help because we know that people all over the world are listening to this, and by the time you look on YouTube tomorrow, you're going to see a whole heap of what we say tonight on the YouTube. Yes, Brethren?
Yes, Nota. Blessed.
Yes.
Heal the Brethren in the studio as well. Pertaining to the Grabba thing, as the Hive for that say, for almost the price of weed and thing. The artist do that in America.
The artists them.
Grabba them on the rise as though it is right, no, you know.
The artists them.
Thing about Grabba like that feel rip on the rise.
Yeah.
You can't call the name to cartel, no matter who. He's one of the main persons, isn't it?
Yeah, with the Grabba talk.
Yeah, man. Thing about the Grabba and hot up it and, you understand what I say? Publicize it.
Yeah.
So, them can do the same for weed, just the same.
Yeah. As you talk about Vibes Cartel, is all we are going because.
Yeah, man, a good artist.
The
artist.
Yeah, but me not talk about no good. It's a personal thing me I work with that, so no. You mentioned Vibes Cartel, I remember something. So me don't want Vibes Cartel knows say, all right, yes. So I just that. Him know what me I deal with, so anybody who know him know what me I deal with say yes. Mutabaruka say yes. You understand? So yeah, anybody who know Vibes Cartel, don't tell Vibes Cartel to Muta say, yeah, man, all right? Yes, so go back to the reasoning, yes.
Yeah, man, the artist is the vehicle to shoot the thing forward, man, and make the thing happen,
Yeah, that's the Bridget say. But we did not do it all the while still, but we must say now, be more specific in relationship to the scientific approach.
The
hype approach. You have a hype approach, you have a scientific approach. So
Not the hype approach.
All right, sir, blessed. Here are topics that we work with because we never really work with no topic today, especially current day topic like Mother Teresa and all the things there. Some serious thing have come out about Mother Teresa, say she's not the saint that we thought she was. And tomorrow we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about serious things. Hugo Chavez passed away, yes, and the importance of symbols. And then we're going to the Carol Garden vibes because this month we're going to spend the whole of this month on the Carol Garden vibe. Ralph, we give thanks to you come here. This is the second time in our 16 years. We don't know, maybe the next time you come now, we're going to hear California, we're going to hear Washington, D.C., we're going to hear Philadelphia, Boston, Massachusetts, and all them people. They say, yes, ganja, free. You understand? Make your life easier. And then we're there. But we appreciate the whole of the work what you do over the years. I pity people can't see the magazine them. Is you publish the magazine them?
No, but Mark Patterson published a magazine, and now with the Cannabis Patients Network, we're going to have an online magazine that will allow patients to be able to talk to each other and tell each other how cannabis helps them, and we will unionize a good many people to be able to talk.
All right. Suppose somebody want get in contact with you. How them get in contact with you?
Well, we have 2 websites, Patients Out of Time.
All right, we have Patients Out of Time. I want to take down this, because if not come back here, serious. Patients Out of Time.
Patients Out of Time is located at medicalcannabis.com. And it's, we think, a great website, and we are the leaders insofar as being able to disseminate science and education. What we hope and plan to do is to be able to start doing some science and health fairs in older communities where people can benefit the most from being able to use the endocannabinoid system. We're going to send patients and nurses and scientists out to tell people how to
but that's America you're talking about.
Well, no, this is going to happen throughout the entire world. We're starting in America. We're starting in America, but we're going to go worldwide, hopefully quickly. There are patients everywhere in the world.
How long you think this is going to take? The worldwide manifestation? I
think it's going to work rather quickly when it finally happens.
Yeah, but give it time. Don't be like a politician. Give it time.
If you're a politician,
don't be like a politician. Just give it time, and that we can hold you to it.
It can happen soon enough. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm hoping that. I wish I knew.
Okay,
I wish I knew, but I know that every minute that we spend today may save 100 hours of pain tomorrow.
Yes.
So we have to keep passing the message on, because we all have friends and family. And the thing that you need to know is that everybody is a patient.
Yes.
We all have an endocannabinoid system.
Yes.
We all get out of balance, and we all need to be balanced. We just need to know how to balance ourselves.
Yes.
And science will tell us eventually how to do that.
All right. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. I have learned a lot tonight of all my moving with Ganja man, moving amongst Ganja. I really, really get a serious insight into this thing, and it even I make my mind I go all over the place, with certain ideas, So, yeah, man, we give thanks for you come. I don't know if it's me make it stay so long in Jamaica, because I don't say we're supposed to live far, but it look like you toured Jamaica enough, man.
Well, I'm just warming up on Jamaica. I've only been here about 35 years.
Yes, Nebraska, on the door. Because we know what people are listening to you, like Nebraska, they are Colorado. We have some Colorado listeners there, enough,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man, we have some Colorado listeners, enough. We didn't go up on my computer, but I go up on the computer, I see what people text me, email me from Colorado, man. They say, and them know you too,
Well, the next scientific conference that Patients Out of Time is going to do is going to be in Colorado, in the Denver area, in 2014, May 15th. And it will be a blockbuster. We will get eventually all of the patients together, and we're going to have some concerts.
Yeah.
We're going to have cannabis concerts where musicians come and sing about herb and about how it works, and we're going to have scientists standing right beside them. We'll have enough of them there. So we're looking forward to raising some funds, and we're looking forward to spreading the message. Yes, of course.
Yeah, man, straight to the White House.
That's right.
Yeah, that you can have some Michelle can plant some herb tree at the back of the White House.
That would be nice.
Pumpkin and melon. Yeah, man, give thanks. Wait there. Take one more call. So we call time ago. Yeah, one call. Yes.
We just love it.
Yes, sensible call. Yes.
Yeah, man, I want to also move about a problem I have with my mother. She under some severe stress.
A what?
My mother, she under severe stress,
Yeah.
And I want to talk to the virgin there.
Yeah. You sure that you know what GPS?
What's that?
You sure that you know what GPS?
No, man, she live in Florida.
Oh, because GPS
and our husband did recently, it was about 54 years.
A GPS is going to make all our start smoke ganja, believe you me.
Why, Virgin, may I tell you Rasta?
All right, talk to him. See, man, talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Ralph, you want to talk to him?
Yeah, of course.
What are you doing, Ralph?
I'm fine.
All right, good. I'm a herb smoker now for about 30 odd years, and I'm about 50 years old now,
So you understand.
When I was in grade 10, that was first puff, and Rastafari and reality reached me from I was a young man.
Mm-hmm.
And been treading that way for a long time now, you know. Right now I trim me here, but I'm still a Rasta man, you know. But one thing I want to ask you is about the fact that my mother, her husband died recently, my father, and 54-year marriage. Right. And she kind of like a fish out of water since that time, I noticed, you know, because she take a lot of stress. She always stressed. And we ask her, what's the problem? What is causing stress? She don't know. Sometimes you call her, I call her from down here, I call up in Florida. And when I speak to her, I say, Mommy, what's the problem? She don't know. She just don't feel good. And she under tremendous stress. I don't know what is causing this stress. So I just feel that it's the same endocannabinoid system you're talking about that is not up to par.
That's true.
And it's causing... I would look... My father died from multiple cancer recently last year, right? And both of them are fervently against marijuana. As a matter of fact, they are so strongly against marijuana that when I was a young man, in my early 20s, and started to Rastafari, them think I was mad, and them take me to the head psychiatrist in Jamaica, who tell them, say, they mustn't give me no medication because nothing wrong with me. And them never believe that version, but I was smoking the herb, them take me to a man who make up with them and carry on a conspiracy to give me psychotropics to the point where it changed my body chemistry.
All right,
and
so
now, I depend on them things now.
Yeah, so what is the question you're asking? What is the question where you're asking? Because you say your mother now a fight gets...
No, I want to if there's some way, right? Like, for example, the Rick Simpson's aisle, right? If there's something I can use when I go back up to the States to see her, where I can get like at Whole Food Market or Unicorn Village or one of them places where we can get something like that, you know?
Well, you've got to undo what are decades of and what's turning into ancestral ignorance of misinformation that your mother has. It was the same. Exactly. It was the same misinformation that my father had. I'll give you a small example. My father lived in California in '95, and he got cancer. And his doctors were telling him that he should be using marijuana to alleviate the problems from chemotherapy, etc. But he didn't want to because it was against the law, and only because it was against the law. Oh. And he asked me, he said, is this going to save my life? And I told him I didn't think so. And he said that under those circumstances, he'd just as soon pass. As far as he knew, he had never broken a law in his life, and he didn't want to start now on his way out. He was the kind of guy that if you came back to the car and the parking meter was had a red flag on it, he'd put money in before he left. That's just how he went. But it really bothered me to see my father suffer unnecessarily when he could have been alleviated from some of his problems by using cannabis. It stepped up my activism quite a bit. So I understand very much what you're up against by having your mother's mind be poisoned against it to the point where she would maybe feel like she was out of control if she got too much. But if you could sit with her and talk with her and she could listen to you and be sure not to overdose her one way or the other and give her a small piece of chocolate that was infused with cannabis, it'd make her feel a little bit better. And a little bit longer, you might be able to get some more in her, and before long, she'd be doing like everybody else. She'd be laughing and smiling and realizing that life is still beautiful. But of course, she's alone without her other half, and after 54 years, you can expect that she's going to be this way. Yeah. But hopefully, you'll be able to pull her out of it one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing, though. Sit down and talk to her. Seriously, sit down and talk to her.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that whether I have it a long time thing and very difficult for really teach old dog new trick. You know
colonial way of thinking.
Yeah, so you know who recognize it. All right, see the mill that smoke ganja from long time. I'm still your son. I'm still I do it.
Exactly, me all right.
Yeah, so you have to sit down. Just sit down and talk to her seriously. You know, it's a matter of life or death. You have to sit down and talk to her. All right, brethren?
Yes, sir. One love you, brethren.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. Yes. So, a cutting edge, we're there. Yes.